Hi guys, it's Kelly here and I'm back with another video. Today's video is featuring some products from Crafty Meraki. These are the Party Balloons dies, the Happy Birthday. I also use the Celebrate dies. And then this, glitter, iridescent, shimmer, paper pack. It's got a bunch of different kinds of shimmer in it. It's really, really pretty. And so that's what I'm going to be using. I picked the rainbow one. I'm going to cut it in half because I'm going to save the other half for another project. But then this one I will then cut in half again. So now they're A2 size cards. I'm going to cut out both of these with that Party Balloons die. And then in addition to that, I'm going to cut out 2 white ones from the Party Balloons. And we're going to do some inlay for our die cutting design. You may notice that this video is a little bit shorter than a lot of my videos, and that's because there's no coloring. Coloring just takes so long. But also, I have a lot of information to tell you, and because of that, I have to talk really fast to make sure that I can get it all in. So first things first, I'm just running this through my Spellbinders Platinum 6. I like to run mine through twice. That's why I tape them in place so they don't joggle around and accidentally miscut. And for the most part, these are cut through, but I was able to keep all of the pieces parts together. That is the easiest way I've found to do an inlay, is when you can keep the majority of your die cut laid out the way that it is in the die, and you're not having to guess what pieces go to what parts. So I put them back together, any of the ones that came out, and then I just kind of set this to the side. And I'm going to do the same thing with this color. I'm actually going to flip it though, so that way I still have some of that like reddish pink at the top, because it's at the bottom of my other one. And you could use this technique, like let's say we cut the whole sheet out of it, you could make so many cards. This is such a fast way to make a lot of cards, but I didn't need a lot of cards. I like to have different options for my birthday card, so I'm only going to make 2. And you could keep going. You could save the white balloons that cut out and use those as an inlay, but I'm not going to because again, like I said, just I like to have some variation in my birthday cards. So let's talk a little bit about what's it's not really story time. It's actually kind of exciting news. So last week, no, it was longer than that. It was longer than that because it was before I went to Nashville. Anyway, the owner of Crafty Meraki, her name is Bindu. She's a wonderful woman. I have chatted with her lots, really enjoy the time that I get to chat with her. And she is very supportive of the industry. So any opportunity that I have to be supportive of her, I'm totally down to do so. So she reached out to me and was like, hey, I'm going to do a virtual event and I'd like to have you as a teacher. Would you be interested in doing that? And I was like, yes, of course I would. But then I was even more excited when I found out that it's free. Guys, it's a free virtual event. And so when is it? July? Hold on now. It's July 13th and 14th. It's the whole weekend, and yes, it's the 13th and 14th. It's a virtual event that you can attend and, craft kind of along with everybody. The instructors will be there to answer any of your questions. So I think that's super cool. And anytime that, like I said, I can support her, the industry, and you guys, like I'm there, count me in. So let's talk about this inlay real quick. So what I'm doing is I'm going to do it 2 different ways, but both of them are going to require that the outline that I chose mine in white, and I'm going to be adhering them to black because I like the contrast that gives me. But both of them are going to be adhered down flat. So I find that I have an easier time kind of lining them up if I hold it in my hand. And I did use my glue press to put down, little bits of glue on those tinier areas. You could cut this out of white and put it down on like an ink blended background. That would be really pretty. But I only wanted to do the balloons portion. So we're talking about this virtual retreat, everything that I am using is from the bundle that's available for the virtual retreat. I'm sure you'll probably be able to buy these products afterward, but right now these products are only available in the retreat. And they're doing early bird pricing. So you get, I will link it below. The registration link will be below as well. You do have to register even though it's free. So, they can know who's going to be attending. And so that'll be linked below as well as the bundle. The early bird pricing, if you want to craft along with exactly what we are creating, you would want to buy the bundle that's going to have all the products. And it's like $200 worth of products, but the early bird pricing is $90. So you're saving over 50%. Don't ask me to do that math. You guys know me and math, we're not friends. I have a funny story about that. We'll see if we get to it. So anyway, one of the ways I'm going to do the inlay is very simple, is just gluing them down flat. The other way I'm going to do the inlay is by popping them up. So now for the most part, I can just put my foam tape down and place my pieces on top of it. The smaller pieces are a little bit trickier, and right on my first one, I ran into this where like one of the points was sticking out around my balloon. So I just trimmed it off and then just put it back down. But I find that leaving them in here makes it very easy, because then I can just pick up one piece from one and glue it down, and then pick up one piece from the other and glue it down. Then I'm never having to guess where one goes because I'm doing them at the same time. Here I realize that I missed just like a little corner. I'm just going to fill that in as I go, any place that, needs it. And basically I'm just alternating the patterns. It's going to make a really pretty like colorful card regardless of how I do them, because those papers have that glittery kind of, it doesn't come off on your hands. So I don't know. Do you call this iridescent? Not sure. Anyway, very pretty paper. But I'm alternating them so that way they're both a large variety of colors instead of just being the kind of one tone gradient, though that would be pretty too. But so the one on the right, we're gluing down flat. The one on the left, we're adding on top of foam tape. So just two different looks you can get from the same technique just by changing your adhesive. And both are really easy to do. So let's go back to this retreat. So the early bird pricing is $90, which is, I think, is a total steal. But I do want to tell you that a lot of the techniques and things like that, you don't you don't have to have the products. If you just want to come and learn new techniques, it would just be like watching a weekend of YouTube videos instead of being able to participate and craft along. You know what works for you. So you do that, whatever it is that works for you. But I will be excited to see you over there and be able to chat with you and answer your guys' questions. So like I said, everything will be linked below on YouTube. Just so that way, see here's another one where like the tape, I thought I had it good and it was just sticking out just a little bit. So I'm just going to go in and trim it off. And for that, I'm using my Spellbinders non-stick. That's the key. They're non-stick detail scissors. And that's why I keep coming back to them, because you guys know how I hate fighting with that foam tape. But yeah, so very excited for that. And I hope to see a lot of you guys over there. And there's a lot of other, I think there's 10 instructors total, including like Laura Basson, who else is over there? We're all in the same group together, but I haven't been in the group very long because I had a lot going on at the time that she asked me. Amanda Stevens from Pear Blossom Press. There are some lights that are also in this kit from them, which are great. You guys have seen me use them tons. Love Amanda. Who else is in there? I just met her at the Nashville Craft Retreat in person. And I don't know how to say her last name. Laura Evangeline. She's lovely. But anyway, it's a lot of really talented people. I promise you won't be upset that you spent your time there. So I do hope that you will check that out. So I guess we have like 10 minutes left, and we might not get to the entire story time. I was talking to my mom the other day on the phone, and we were just talking in general about things. She is feeling much, much better, by the way. Thank you guys all for your prayers and your thoughts. I appreciate you. But we were just talking about how we had said that earlier in the year, like we were going to do a game night and then we never did it. And I said, and that's so silly because all we need is me and you to just have a game. Like we just need me and her to play the game. So that was earlier in the week. So this Saturday I sent her a message and I was like, hey, are you busy tomorrow? Do you want to come over during Caitlin's nap time and play games? So she did. She came over, and one of my mom's favorite games is Triominoes. I am not well versed in Triominoes. Graham and I played a lot of games together. My mom used to play Triominoes with Graham. But like Graham and I would play like Rummy Cube or Skippo or those types of games. Rummy Cube is still one of my favorites. But anyway, I was like, bring it with you. You're just going to have to reteach me how to play it. Y'all, the math ain't mathin'. So how you play the game is like you get a certain amount of points if you put down the first tile of triple fives, but then if you have triple zeros, you get 10 points plus an extra 30 points for putting down triple zeros. And then if you can't play and you have to pick up from the well, you're -5 for every tile you pick up. And then you get the points for however, so let's say like on your little triangle piece, you have like a 5-5-2. Well, then you get 12 points. But if you have picked that tile up from the well, then it's 12 minus 5 points. I was like, Mama, how do you keep track of this? I can't. It's not for me. Like, and she started laughing. She was like, Grandma always used to make me keep score too. I was like, yeah, this is your job. So she smoked me. I mean, she totally beat the pants off me, but it was super fun. And then Nathan wanted to play a game, so we did Heads Up, which is very fun if you don't have that game and you have, well, even if you don't have younger kids, I think it's fun even as adults. So we played that, and then we played a little bit of Rummy Cube, and her and my dad ended up staying for dinner, which was great. All right, so back to the card. So here, I'm going to do some white highlights on my balloons. This paper, the gel pen worked pretty seamlessly on top of it. And you can see just adding that little detail helps to give it some dimension. Because I have two different kinds of cards going on, and you guys know I can't leave anything well enough alone. I want my cards to look like my cards and look different. So I added the white gel pen. And then on the one that is popped up, I am going to add some clear glitter on the black. I could have just glued it on black glitter paper, but honestly, I didn't think about it at the time. But either one would work. And this is just to add a little, something extra to the background to help it kind of stand out. And then there's a couple of different things you could do, and I tried a few. I tried putting stickles on top of the glitter, which was really, really glittery and very pretty. And then I tried doing just glossy accents, and then I tried doing the glossy accents with the white gel pen. You can do the glossy accents with the white gel pen, but you have to make sure the white gel pen is dry first. If you try to do it while it is wet, it will smear into your glossy accents. So on the one that is flat, I am just picking, I think I did like 5 balloons and just adding glossy accents on top of them. I have found I get the smoothest application by kind of outlining whatever the shape is and then going in and filling it in. If you get any air bubbles, you want to pop those right away with like a little needle, or you could probably use a pick tool, like for your dies. You could probably use that too. And then I just went ahead and set these aside to dry while I worked on my sentiments. So one of them, I cut a white shadow and black letters. That one says celebrate. And the other one is black shadow and white letters. And that one says happy birthday. And that's just because I have that rainbow going on in the background. I probably could have picked one of those colors. But it seemed to me that the neutral was going to be a better idea. So these do cut all separate letters that you have to adhere, but it actually didn't take too long at all. I just went through and used my glue press to add a little bit of glue, and tweezers are a must-have for these little teeny tiny pieces. I remember when I didn't use tweezers, and it was a struggle. It was a struggle for me. There is one thing that I do want to note. If you do choose to, purchase the bundle and play along, when you're cutting the happy birthday, the P's are flat at the bottom. The D like David, is curved at the top. So it's kind of like on a left to right angle. The reason that I'm telling you this is because I tried to put one of the P's there and I was like, it's not fitting. And then I realized that I did not have a D, I had a P, and I needed to fix that. So anywho, just went through and adhered these down. And then one of the other things that you get in the kit, I obviously didn't show you everything because I'm not using everything for these particular cards. But I'm just going to go ahead and adhere the ones that, this is the one that is popped up. It does not have the glossy accents on it. And where I added the sentiments, I didn't need to add any extra foam tape outside of the end of the Y. The end of the Y just overhung my balloon just a little bit. And so it was a little floppy. It needed some support. And I found the best way to do that is to just cut my little piece of foam tape, remove the paper off of both sides, and then I will use my tweezers or a tick tool to pick tool. Guys, oh man, we're almost there. We're gonna make it through, whether I enunciate everything correctly or not. And then I just kind of like tuck it up underneath there. So the other thing that you get in this little kit is the, I really do like their rhinestones. These are the Meraki Sparkle Primrose Blue, but they're not really blue. Like, it just depends on how the light is hitting them. They're blue, and then they're pink, and then they're gold, and they're really, really pretty. So I did accent my sentiment with some of these, and I lost it. Did you see it go flying? I was having a hard time with the little bits, but it's okay. It's all right. We made it through in the end. So this is the last thing that I'm going to do to this one. And then this one is going to be done. For this one, I chose, remember, this is the flat one and it has the glossy accents on it, which the glossy accents kind of acts like, if any of you guys paint your nails like glittery colors, and the glitter is pretty, but then when you put your top coat on it, the glitter's like, wow. It kind of acted the same way on the paper, like where it really like heightened the reflection. And it did make them a little bit darker. So it appeared like that they had a couple of shades of the same color. Really was a fan of the glossy accents on these. But anyway, because this one is flat, I popped up my Celebrate sentiment. And then I went in with those same, you can see I just kind of set them off to the side, with those same little rhinestones and accented this card as well. And then here is both cards in their completion. I think they're super cute. So thank you guys so much for joining me. I always appreciate your time. I hope that you'll check out the free virtual retreat. It will be linked below. Thank you again, and I will catch you on the next video. Bye.